video, I'm gonna be sharing a life-changing advice that I learned from Mrs. Selena Gomez herself, and also some of the things that I've also learned from her new documentary, if you are aware by now, My Mind and Me. So incredibly incredible and courageous, and I'm so looking forward to doing this video. I just want to be just as transparent with you as Selena Gomez is, but I don't think really no one can take that medal because she is by far, I would say, a very vulnerable individual that we can all learn from. Make sure you like this video because I know it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Oh, and by the way, like, I haven't ate nothing all day and it's like 2:30, almost 2:30, so I'm just gonna be eating, if that's okay with you. I did forget my water. Let me go get it. So what it is just water. I put a little bit of lemon inside. Like lemon juice just burns the fat, which is phenomenal. Like, I feel extremely slim, but that's not what the video is about, so let's continue. Her and I are the same age, believe it or not. She looks phenomenal. I really admire her character more than anything. Her character is so different from every other celebrity that we see on social media or on TV, YouTube, whatever. She definitely gives off this authenticity. Authenticity, oh Lord. I'm not being very much authentic right now myself.
Authenticity.
Thank you. She gives off this authenticity. I feel like my mouth goes faster than what I'm really trying to say in my words, or maybe it's my mind. It's one of those. Very authentic individual. There, we'll say it that way. And I really admire who she is and who she's becoming, and I just have a lot to say when it comes to her releasing this documentary. I'll be honest, I have not seen it yet, but just I've seen clips of it, and I've seen a lot of interviews of her explaining the documentary, and I just, girl, like, you got swag. I love your swag. This is a life-changing advice, just being transparent, being vulnerable, and authentic. And I feel like that is so hard to do for some of us, especially when we don't know who we are, especially when we're trying to put on this facade and trying to be someone else that we're not. It's hard, but she, like, even though it may be hard for her at times as well, she's just real about it. It's like, hey, this is hard. I may not know who I am still, but that vulnerability, it's so hard for people to tap into. I know for some it's like easier, whatever. I haven't even ate yet. I know for some others it's like easier, but she does it very well just because I guess she's not trying to get anyone's approval, anyone to like her, anyone. She believes that people are just gonna say whatever they want to say, so why not just be free, be authentic, be transparent, which is another life advice that I just came up with really here, is not taking people's crap. Whenever I just want to be free, I take a look at Selena and just being vulnerable with myself, because that's what people really seek. And one of the things that motivates her as I'm learning more about her, whenever I feel down or scared of something, I know that I can take a look at Selena herself, her character, her leadership, her vulnerability, and just know that it's okay. It's know that we're gonna mess up, just like I messed so many times, just like I messed up literally just now in my words. It's okay. And you're able to connect with people because she's motivated by connection. If you are real, if you're transparent, if people are seeing your flaws, people are able to gravitate more towards you when you are being human. And she is definitely a different, like, her being in the public eye, she is able to relate with millions and millions and millions because she's human herself. And that's something to be so admired by. Because, I mean, I'm not a celebrity, but I can only imagine celebrities have to put on this facade, put on a hat that it's not really them so they can be accepted in the public eye and continuing to, I don't know, flourish in what it is that they have to do. But Selena kind of switched it in a way that this is me, this is what I've gone through, and I know you're going through the same thing, and it's okay to talk about it, it's okay to seek help from it. And I really appreciate her transparency. Selena, thank you so much. Honestly, I know it takes a courageous spirit to do what you do. It's not easy, but when you do the right thing and just being human, I feel like the universe really rewards you for that, and we can learn so much about that, honestly. And just one of the recent things that I've learned from her in one of her interviews from this documentary is, and forgive me if I quote it wrong, but it's more like, the more you want to let go of you, you are more freer, you're able to connect with others better. Like, letting go of you, I think that's huge, and it's hard. Like for me, it's just thinking about it, it's hard to let go of me, meaning like who I am, like my personality, because I tend to be a control freak. I tend to want things super big, and it sucks when things don't go my way, but just letting that go. And I take a look at Selena and just letting that go, it's freeing and liberating. I don't know if you can relate with that, but I think that was probably one of the biggest life-changing advice so far from her out of all of them, is letting yourself go and not care. Another life-changing advice is using your gifts and talents for a greater cause on whichever platform that you've been trusted with. I've been trusted with being on YouTube. That's the platform that I've chosen to share my voice, share my story, share my experiences, share my knowledge. I sincerely do believe that wherever it is that you're planted, you can prosper in that, whatever job that is, and you can still give off your gifts and talents for a greater cause, because I feel like we live such a self-centered world. We can be selfish. I can say this about myself. I can get caught up in being selfish and not letting go of me. What separates her from any other person is just her. That's talent. Just being yourself is just like more than enough. And she gives it off so incredibly well. She's went through so much mess, just like the rest of us, but she utilized that mess for a greater cause. And I think that's just so powerful, inspirational. Takes a lot of heart and courage to do what she does every day. And it's not easy. It's probably exhausting. If I had to have an interview with her right now, I would ask her, is all of this exhausting? And she'll tell you. This one is probably a really huge one that I'm also battling through, and it's a life advice from her specifically. She didn't necessarily, I guess, said it, but just who she is made me realize, and that is not caring who takes the credit, really. A lot of people, including myself, go after things to prove themselves, to prove someone wrong, or they work so hard in a specific thing and they feel like they deserve a particular credit. That ego needs to be burned from everyone's spirit because it's not fun. She truly has been trusted with something huge, and she's gonna do something with what she has been trusted with, big or small. If I would ask her now, I'm sure she would want to be just a normal human being like the rest of us. I mean, she is, but you know what I mean, just the normal circumstances, the normal whatever, but she's in a position that she is in for a reason, and she looked at that and executed on something much bigger than herself. To me, that's leadership. That's huge, and not a lot of people do that. So I know just by watching her example, I want to be more like that. The next life advice is letting it all go by sharing your story. And that is exactly what she does, I mean, if not more, in her documentary, My Mind and Me. I love that song, by the way. If I can meet her one day, I want to give her the biggest hug ever, because she such a kind soul, yet so courageous and bold. Who is that? Who is even that these days? Who even taps into themselves to be like that? It's great. So letting it all go by sharing your story. I mean, that's hard. Yeah. I put myself in very uncomfortable situations, and sharing my story and not caring what people have to say, not taking their crap. It becomes freer for you, and you really reveal who you are. And that is that you're a human being, and you're not trying to be anybody else. This is me right here. This is who I am. I am terrified. I am on the verge of being in tears right now. Why? I don't know. There's just so much to share and release. Gosh, I need to stop talking so I can remember what I was saying. This is her story. This is a celebrity, someone that some of us look up to or idolize, or is a role model, whatever. I don't believe in idolization. I look at her as a friend. I don't idolize her. I look at her as someone like me, because I relate with her, and she's able to help others relate with her as well through her story. And this documentary, even though I have not watched it, I know for a fact it's gonna be super transparent, and I'm probably gonna cry, because who does that? Especially someone in the public eye. It amazes me who this woman is. I wanna meet you, Selena. You may not ever see this video, but hey, it's worth of trying to say that I wanna meet you. But, I forgot the dang point. Oh, let me eat some food. Maybe it'll help me to remember. I'm not the most sexiest eater ever. I don't know. Anyways, Selena's really great. at showing people through her leadership that everyone has a voice. And you must know when to speak up. And she definitely does that. As terrifying as it is, she does it because she knows, which brings on to my next point, that it's not about her. It's about the people that are hurting. Like, this documentary has nothing to do with her, even though she's in it. It's more about the people that are going to relate with it and cry to release, like, just to release crap that is within us and go through a process of healing and asking for help. Like, her movement is far beyond the incrediblest thing that I've probably seen. And I'm pretty sure millions of others can agree with me on that. She is motivated by really helping other people, therefore she's willing to put herself out there, even though it's super scary, even though it's her reputation, it's her career. She doesn't care. Can you imagine waking up one morning and be like, I don't care if I fail. As long as I'm helping people, that's all that matters. That takes so much humility. It's not even funny. This girl has humility. And I love that. Like, what celebrity you know does that? So I'm very grateful that she saw it from a different light to where, hey, this is where I'm at. I'm gonna use this for a greater good and inspire people, even though it's gonna cost my reputation, I'm sure. She doesn't care. That's very profound. So thank you again, Selena, which I know it's not easy. So thank you so much for seeing what you have, that opportunity to help millions and millions and millions. So beautiful. The next point that I've learned through Selena is loving yourself even through your flaws. Okay, I think we have seen all the flaws. Pretty sure I'm interpreting that we have seen all the flaws through Selena through this documentary. If you have seen it, comment down below and let me know what you thought of the documentary. I really, I have a plan to watch it, but I have this theory that we have seen all her flaws in this documentary. And who does that? Again, someone in the public eye. What? You know, loving yourself through your flaws. My flaws are, can't put things in, like right now, putting words together that make sense. You know, my grammar isn't all the greatest. I've been made fun of for my grammar for years. It's not fun to hear that from someone, but that's a flaw that I have and I'm working on it. How am I working on it? By talking more, expressing more through this channel. Not only is she incredibly beautiful, very gorgeous, hello, she also says, this is my flaws, you know, this is what I'm going through. Especially in this day and age with social media, fake stuff out there through that kind of stuff. Who takes the time to be like, yo, I'm screwed up, I'm messed up, these are my flaws. You know, like Selena said, I've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and lupus, and she accepts herself for that. She's learned to make them her friend. Like, that takes a bold character that I don't even know who else has it, honestly. Like, I want to learn from that. I want to be more like that because we all have flaws. We ain't perfect, honey. No matter how perfect someone else seems to look on the outside, wherever it is that you see them at, they're not perfect. They're just as screwed up as the next person is, as we are. And she lays it out. Ooh, wow. Thank you. I know she is not looking for the credit whatsoever, and I can see that. Like, she is not coming off, I'm doing this for myself. No, I mean, she is too, because it's a way of her freeing herself, letting go of herself, but she's not doing it to get a credit. She's doing it to help as many people as possible, and that's all through God's work. God is in charge of whose life is going to be impacted. He is the one that brings the people, but we got to do our own obedience and our own work in order for God to work alongside us. If we're not going to do anything about it, if we're not going to talk, if we're not going to have a voice, if we're not going to share our story, how else is he going to help? How else is God going to use us for the greater good? How? If we're going to continue to be stuck in this selfish mindset, we're going to be stuck forever. We just are. Trust me, I've tried this, still getting caught up in this area. It's not the most funnest thing ever. So how do you get rid of it? How do you let go of it? You share your story. You're vulnerable. You're transparent. And you know, Selena's not really motivated by the success for her, but the success that is happening among everyone else that is around her. Her fans, people that she have influenced for so many years, that is success. And that is what a true leader is all about. Not taking the success for themselves, but if there are people around them having success through their leadership, that's success. it takes a lot of character to really love who you are, even through your mistakes, through your flaws, and learning through those mistakes so you don't have to continue to repeat those patterns. We repeat patterns in our life is because of root and unforgiveness, and we have to tap into that unforgiveness root, yank it out, and really forgive ourselves and forgive the ones who we have chosen to hurt us, because they're not hurting, we are, because we continue to hold on to that when it doesn't serve any of us. And in order for us to reach our truest potential, we have to let go more of ourselves, like Selena does. People are gonna judge us no matter what we do, no matter what job we have, no matter who we're dating, no matter what we do. They're always gonna find something that are going to judge us on. And one thing that I learned about judgment is that, because I was a very extremely judgmental person, and it just kept me stuck, it kept me in bondage. I just decided to choose ego over freedom, and wasn't all the greatest. So the reason why I was judging is because judgment is a reflection of ourselves. When we judge someone, we literally are judging ourselves. And whatever comes out of our mouths is literally how our heart is, if that makes any sense. Through her leadership, I learned that just go after it that motivates you, you have a desire on, because that's far more greater than just being stuck and living up to society's beliefs and the way that you should be and being a follower. We need more leaders in all of our communities to step up, be who they are, and show people their flaws and share the stories. Another point that I didn't think about is she's extremely humble. Huge success of all time, and humble. How can you be humble in that area and with all the success that Selena's having? Because she doesn't care. She puts others ahead of her. And I just want to make sure that she also takes care of herself. You know, I know she's a huge giver, but she also takes the time to take care of her in order to impact even more people. So, she is actually incredible. She may not see it for herself just yet, but I love you, Selena. I admire who you are. Thank you so much for being so courageous, which is my next one, by the way. Being courageous and bold. She was courageous and bold enough and scared enough to put herself out there. If the documentary doesn't show her courageous and bold spirit, I don't know what does. That alone is extremely bold. I don't know anyone else that does that, but we can all learn from that. What life advice really resonated with you? Comment them down below. Subscribe to the channel. Again, it helps. I love you all. I believe in you, and I'll see you next week.